Hello and welcome to the vlog. It's now roughly 36 hours since I tackled those 27 locks and I am still aching like you wouldn't believe. I am the most unfit person you could ever meet, and frankly I am genuinely surprised that I didn't have a coronary halfway up. However, I have now got to move on again today because I'm on a 48-hour mooring, so my time here is limited. My original plan was to head down towards Worcestershire. I've got family down there. The trouble is, that involves going down the Tardybig lock flight, which is 30 locks, closely followed, if I recall correctly, by another flight of about 6 and then another one of 7. I am simply not going to make it. I was just shattered beyond description after doing the 27 to get here. I won't make Tardybig followed by the ones after that. It's just not going to happen. So I've changed my plans and I'm going to head east towards Warwick sort of direction. First thing I need to do though is exit Birmingham. And to start with, that means going the wrong way for 100 yards or so until I can find a spot to turn round. Once turned, it's back towards the centre of Birmingham and the canal roundabout, where I can make my turn right, heading towards Gas Street and ultimately down the Birmingham and Worcester Canal. So that canal just disappearing on the left is the way I came into town. Heading right takes me east and out of town. It's a confusing mix of moorings here, some 48-hour, some 14-day, and some reserved for the tour boats. That's the International Convention Centre and a trip boat moored outside. Here's the famous Gas Street Basin. Gas Street so named because it was the first in Birmingham to be lit by gaslight apparently. And this is Worcester Bar, once quite literally a bar blocking passage between the canals because they were owned by rival companies. Out the other side towards the mailbox, once a post sorting office, now trendy shops and restaurants. And as I go by, this CRT workboat passes, getting into the spirit of the recent boat naming fiasco. Fancy a very expensive flat? The Cube is full of them, but it is smack in the middle of the city after all. By the mailbox you have a 90-degree right turn to start heading out of Birmingham. It's fairly blind, you can't really see what's coming, but thankfully it's also pretty wide, so there is enough space to pass anyone as long as they're behaving properly and keeping to the right. Yes, I have speeded this up. After a quick stop for water, the journey out of Brum begins in earnest. It's going to remain urban for a good few miles yet though. There's the train line running alongside for a bit, and you can just see evidence of city life peeping behind the greenery. Train and canal alike go through tunnels here. This is Edgbaston Tunnel, nice and short. Bonus points to anyone who can tell me to the nearest 1,000 how many bricks were used in the construction of this amazing viaduct. I love a good viaduct. Uh-oh, traffic ahead, but I go past them with their blessing and then past this interesting boat powered by hydrogen, some kind of project from the University of Birmingham. Over a little aqueduct next at Bournebrook, a chance to peer down on all the people bustling around like ants in their cars on the A38 below. I swear this digger was following me along the bank, trying to hide itself behind the wall. Ah, dredging work by the Canal and River Trust, that's good. Nice to see the canals getting made a bit deeper. And so to Willy Wonka's, otherwise known as the Bourneville site where Cadbury's is based. An entire village built by the company founder for his staff to live in an idyllic utopia. Such a shame they've ruined the chocolate since the Americans bought the company. I'm sorry my US viewers, but they have. You remember I failed to get a heron in the last video. Better luck this time. Now what's this? Flipping workboats hogging the space at the Bourneville visitor moorings, which are supposedly secure being on the offside, not the towpath, but it's not terribly attractive anyway. Just gone past Bourneville then, and very soon I'll come up to the Kings Norton Junction where if I went straight on, I'd go down that Tardybig lock flight of 30 locks, but I'm going to turn left onto the Stratford-upon-Avon Canal. Here's a bonus heron.
Also a bit camera shy. Like buses though, you wait for one heron and 3 turn up. I genuinely thought this one was fake for a while, he was that still. It's been pretty quiet on the canal so far, so another boat coming by is unexpected. And like the herons, they're suddenly all turning up at once as well. Here's another one. This is the last bridge before the turn onto the Stratford Canal. Here goes, tiller hard right, bit of throttle and smoothly round. I'm really rather sad I won't get to Worcester, but Warwick should be nice instead. That's where I've just come from then, and here's where I'm going. More busyness from the trust, sorting out the towpath and the wall here. Some would argue there should be more effort on the waterways rather than the towpaths, but I'll not get into that here. Now this is fascinating, a guillotine lock, which as the name suggests has gates that hang over the water rather than turning out sideways. It is a tad nerve-wracking going under those, but they aren't in use anymore. It's kept here for historic reasons, and even now is being maintained, as you can see. I'd forgotten about this tunnel, so that turn was a nasty surprise. Brandwood Tunnel. Presumably that's Mr. Brandwood there. I honestly have no idea. It's not too long though, and no one else is coming, so swiftly through to what looks like countryside, but is in fact still very much in the suburbs of Birmingham. You get occasional reminders of where you are as you go along. Bath time, anyone? This is Lyons Boatyard, the usual mix of facilities and some moorings. It's my chance to pull in and replace my empty Cala gas bottle with a new 13 kilos of propane. And while I'm here, look at the state of my wood burner chimney roof. It's rusting to pieces, literally falling apart every time I take it off to go through a tunnel. It needs replacing, and as luck would have it, the little chandlery at Lyons has a new one. I can't get the screws off the old one, so this will just have to fit by friction and gravity. A good purchase, so onwards I go. Someone here's clearly very fond of the Simon's Cat YouTube videos, and why not? They're very good videos. There's about 2 to 3 miles to go until my planned stopping point for the night. First though, a lift bridge, which thankfully another boat is going through first, so I can just tag on the end. Ah, the power of stopping the cars. And so into proper countryside at a place called Shirley in Solihull. This is very much the posh bit of the Birmingham outskirts. I'm just going to go a few hundred yards beyond the last houses, then there should be somewhere to stop. And here it is, a lovely, tranquil spot, one other boat just ahead. It's just far enough from everyone to be peaceful, and just near enough to the town for me to go and get a haircut and supplies. I'll stay here for a couple of days.